So color is also, besides it being important to matching forage, it's also important to helping the fish find the bait. So we can use color to add visual appeal. Clear water, stained water, even in dirty water, this is a big one on how do we make a bait stand out a little more. Just this one example of how we can use color that doesn't necessarily mimic anything in the environment, but it's helping us add color to a bait. This is one of my favorite dirty water modifications right here. Got a chartreuse in white, 1/2 ounce Mullix water slash spinner bait. It's got a nice gold Colorado blade on it. But in dirty water, when that water gets dirty, I want to add a pop of color to that to help those fish find it. Everyone knows how good red and orange is as a pop color, right? As an attractor. Got another dye product right here. This one's by Spike It, and it's called Lectra Blade. So this one's a little more catered to metal, right? So now I'm talking about spinnerbait blades, chatterbait blades, blade baits, spoons, and this dye adheres to metal. So watch this little tiny gold Colorado blade. I get in a muddy water situation. Check this out. Ready? Look at that bright orange, orangish red blade. Now I have a red kicker blade on my spinnerbait, on the fly. So that's another great example of using color to help make the bait better, right? We're using it to dial in that forage. We want it to look like the crawfish, look like the bluegill, look like the panfish, the dace, the goby, the shiner, the herring. But also, we can use color to help enhance it, right? So there's a great example of making it brighter. Show you another one. Give you a little example of making a color more dull. More dull. I want to ask this to the panel. I've got this crazy ass looking ribbon tail, black body, but it has this giant, super bright, almost pink ribbon tail. Asking the panel on this one, show me your hands. When would I want to dull this down? Look at this bright ass bait. What's a scenario I would want to dull a color of a bait down? Give me one, guys. What do you got on my Zoom panel? Yes, sir, at the bottom. Jeremiah, what do you got?
Cold water.
Cold water. Perfect answer. Listen to me. Natural forage in cold water, especially cold, dirtier water, dude, it dulls out. If you haven't fished cold water, you don't know what I'm talking about. But believe me, I've been out here too many times and that water's in the 40s and 30s. And a bluegill that has that bright chartreuse that we talked about in orange, as that water gets cold, his color dulls down, right? So cold water, I actually want to dull the bait down. So the other direction we could go is using dyes to dull a bait down, right? Same thing. This, we're going to go back to we got a Spike It dye marker. This is the Dip and Glow marker. Got that bright pink, I don't even know what you would call that, fluorescent pink. And this one is a green pumpkin color. And I want to show you, just look at this. Just by putting some green pumpkin, you could do the same thing with brown. You could do the same thing with black. And I won't do the whole tail because I want you to see the... Look at how I dulled that pink down just by adding that brown, right? Look, it almost made it just like a real light, almost like a light red now, like a light pinkish red. To dull it down on times when you don't want a bright bait. Forage is dull, cold water. You have these because the water was dirty. You show up the day to fish the tournament, the water got crystal clear. You want to dull it down a little bit, right? And the information Bass University provides isn't your basic run-of-the-mill fishing video. This is specific information from A to Z to help you learn get to the water and become a better angler quickly.